Hello and welcome to today's Bitrix24 webinar, Next Level CRM. Thank you for joining today. Okay, so before we go into the webinar and look at the CRM system in Bitrix24, I'll just introduce ourselves. So we are Bitrix24 Gold Partners Interface, and my name is Sam Connor, a sales engineer here at Interface. And we're based in the UK, in the US and in Hong Kong. And what we do is we offer a full range of services to help you with Bitrix24. Starting off with pre-sales support, so we can discuss your requirements and see if Bitrix would be a good fit for your business. If it is, we can then implement the software and build any specific integrations or customizations that you require. If you're looking at a self-hosted edition, we offer our own hosting services, and we can provide training and ongoing dedicated support to help you get the most out of Bitrix24. Okay, so if you're new to Bitrix24, if you've just come into the webinar today to get more information, Bitrix24 is a collaboration platform with in excess of 35 different tools to really help you to manage your business. Today, we're going to be looking specifically at the CRM and some of the marketing tools that are available in the software. There are over 9 million customers that use Bitrix24, and it is voted within the top 10 CRM systems out there. So it is a very powerful and widely used CRM system. The system is available as a cloud or a self-hosted solution, and prices start from $49 per month for a cloud edition, or a self-hosted system for the 50-user license is $2,990. Okay, so first of all, it's really important to understand why you should use Bitrix24 as your CRM system. There are lots of CRM platforms out there. It's important to understand really what are the key features that you could use within the Bitrix24 CRM. First of all, there are lots of automations that we can run inside the system, and that can automate client communications. So through emails or SMSs, we can manage the automations of communications through the entire sales process. And we can also automate the activity of our sales team. You can fully customize the stages that you progress your inquiries and sales through. So it really allows you to make this your very own bespoke CRM platform. So you can capture and qualify leads very quickly through the specific stages you have in your business. You can walk your way through the sales pipeline, so you can create multiple pipelines to segment your sales opportunities. And that's really important later on when we look at the reporting area of the CRM. We can integrate with lots of different platforms, such as with your email and telephony systems. So it allows you to have really a full 360-degree picture of the activity that you have with your customers at any one time. We can set different reports for targeting, for example, so such as with your sales team, we can set targets for them directly in the system. So it enables you to really monitor how well your team are performing in their sales activity. And that leads us on to the forecasting of sales and detailed customized reporting tools that we have in the system. And we'll be taking a look at all of these different tools as we go through the webinar today. If you have any questions as we're going through, please do add them into the chat box, and we'll go through those at the intervals during the webinar today. So the main topics that we'll go through today are, first of all, looking at the tools that we can use within Bitrix24 to generate our leads. We'll then have an overview of the CRM system, at a top level look at all of the different entities in the system. And then we'll go through a case study for how you can actually manage a lead from the initial inquiry stage through to the qualification and to the sales of the person. And then we'll look at the reporting features as well. So we'll see how we can report on the data that is stored in our CRM system. Okay, so first of all, we're going to have a look at how we can use different tools within Bitrix24 to generate leads inside the system. So first of all, you can import leads. And this is really important because we have clients who come from lots of different systems to the Bitrix24 CRM, and they want to be able to import their existing data into the system. So you can import via a CSV very easily into the system, so you can start straight away progressing those opportunities. You also have a live chat tool, so you can message customers who are on your site through the live chat system and help to actually progress any inquiries through the platform. And we'll have a look at the live chat in a short while. We also have social networks that we can integrate with, such as Facebook and Instagram. So people are messaging you on these platforms. Those conversations can be integrated directly into the system, and they can generate leads automatically in the CRM. Another really commonly used feature, and it's a really useful tool, are the CRM forms that you can build in Bitrix. So first of all, you can create your own custom fields and then add those into your forms. Those forms can then be embedded onto your website. So you may, for example, have an inquiry form. A user submits their details, and that can automatically generate a brand new lead in the CRM. We also have telephony integration, so you can integrate your telephony system into Bitrix. When a call comes in, that can automatically, if the number is not matched to a number within the CRM, you could have a brand new lead created in the system. We have the sites module, so this allows you to build your very own sites in the system. And a really good way to actually incorporate the generating of leads is building a site for a specific marketing campaign that you have. So you could have a link on an email, and that could then go to a site you've created on Bitrix for a landing page. And within that landing page, you could then integrate some of these other features, such as live chat or a CRM form, and we can automate the creation of leads through the system. We've also got the CRM marketing module, so you can build really powerful looking marketing campaigns to try and persuade your potential customers to engage with you. And that can help you move those leads through different stages using triggers in the CRM system. And you can also manually add leads. So say if you're out with a potential inquirer, you could manually add their details into the system. So let's take a look at some of those different types of generating leads in some more detail. So we've mentioned about, first of all, a live chat system. So within Bitrix24, one of the tools you're able to use and incorporate is the live chat system. So what you can do is enable the live chat tool, and you can embed that tool onto pages that you want to have conversations with potential customers. And what's useful is you can see here, we're going to be routing those conversations to specific people within our Bitrix24 system. So it could be you have maybe a specific group of people, maybe a customer support team who manage the initial prospecting of customers. Then the conversations can be routed to that specific group of people. So let's just go into one of our sites here. We can see that we have created. And you can see we've got our live chat system in the bottom page on here. So what I can now do is I could speak with a potential team in our Bitrix24 system. Okay, so I've got a question to see what time do we open till. And you can see here in the corner that live chat has integrated directly into the system. So I'm going to reply to that inside our Bitrix24 system. Okay, and you can see here now that message has been integrated back onto the customers page. So you can easily communicate with your potential customers through the live chat tool. And if we just go back into the configuration area for our live chat system, what you can do is you can enable the creation of a brand new lead when that live chat request is open. So Bitrix will try to match the information that they enter in terms of their details to the CRM system. If their details are not in the CRM, we can automatically create a brand new lead inside the system. So that's a really useful tool that you can use to create new leads. Another tool we've mentioned really already there is how we can build our very own sites and landing pages. So here, for example, we have a landing page that we've created. We've got a form that we've added into here. We've also got the live chat tools and Facebook Messenger. So you can create landing pages directly in the system here. And you can use some of the different tools we're talking about, such as website forms and live chat systems, to then automate the creation of leads directly through your landing page. And we've also mentioned earlier on about the marketing module. So within the marketing module, you can build your very own marketing campaigns that you can then send out to your potential customers and really try to help progress those inquiries through the different stages of your CRM system. So you can see here the different types of campaigns you can create, from email campaigns, SMS campaigns, Facebook Messenger campaigns, or if you've integrated your telephony, you can do voice broadcasting and audio calls. So with these features here, what you can do is you can type out a message, and that will then get relayed to the customer through a phone call. So if they answer the call, that message will then get relayed to the customer. So you could have some type of promotional material that you're speaking out to them. You can choose the tone, the language, the speed that the call gets repeated to the customer. But the most popular type is email campaigns. So inside here, you can use your own custom HTML, or Bitrix has lots of different templates that you can use. And then it's really simple to really build out your campaign here. So you can add your text, you can upload your images. So it's really easy to build out, and it's all done in a block format. So I can move these blocks around. I might want to add some new blocks into here, or maybe some code. So you can build your very own campaigns through the tool here. And then you can send these campaigns out to specific groups of people. So for example, in our lead database, I might want to send this out to all of the leads of a certain inquiry type, or maybe based on what source that lead came through. So you can send out very targeted marketing campaigns. And within that campaign, what you could do is you could have a link. And if the lead clicks on that link, what we could then do is we could automatically have that lead progressed in our lead qualification stages. So we're going to go through this in some more detail shortly, but if we go into automation, what you can do is I can go into here and create a trigger. So if a lead clicked on a link in one of our marketing campaigns, then what we could do is we could automatically move that lead into a specific stage of our lead process. So it could be, for example, we automatically move them to the looking good stage because they've clicked on that link, they're engaging with our marketing materials. So you can see here how all of these different areas of the system interlink together. Okay, so that's a look there at some of the different ways we can generate leads in the system. As I say, if there are any questions as we go through the webinar today, please do add them into the chat box and we can run through those for you during the intervals. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at really a top level overview of the different areas of the CRM system. So we'll have a look at really all of the key entities that we have in the CRM. So inside the CRM system here, you can see across the top we have leads, deals, contacts, and companies. And these are really the four key pillars of the Bitrix24 CRM system. So first of all, we have leads. And leads really are for your general inquiries. So these aren't yet your sales opportunities. These are just the potential customers. But what we do in the lead section is we qualify those inquiries. And we do that by taking them through different stages, as you can see here, to try and qualify them, to see if they are a genuine opportunity for the business. And the stages you can see here are fully customizable. So you can have as many or as few stages as you require. You can change the name, you can change the colors. So it's completely customizable to what your lead process would be. And this database here is also customizable. So you can control what information is displayed here. So I can change the actual configuration of this list here. I can also customize what data is being shown. So what you can do is you can customize using custom fields what information is displayed. And this is the list view. We also have a slightly different view, which is the Kanban view. So the difference here is across the top, you can see the different stages that you have for a lead. And you can then progress the lead through those different stages like so. If we go into a lead page, you can see here all of the information about the lead. We're going to do a full case study in a short while, so we'll look in this in more detail shortly. But you can see here on the left-hand side all of the information about the lead. And as we've mentioned, you can create your own custom fields to capture specific details and information. And on the right-hand side, we can see all of the activity associated with the lead. So if you've integrated your email, for example, we can see all of the email communications with the lead. We can see some planned activity. You can also add notes into the system here. You might want to attach some documents and information, maybe about their requirements. So all of that detail can then be saved in the page. And we can also run automation, and we'll look at this in the case study. So through different stages of the lead that we've created, you can run automatic activity either through client communications, such as here we're sending out an automated email that is dynamically populated, or you might want to do internal activity for your sales team, such as creating tasks for them, and that can be automated using the automation tools in the Bitrix24 CRM system. So that's what we can use for leads in the database. So we can progress the leads through those different customized stages. One last thing to mention here is you've also got a filtering and search tool. So if you wanted to search for a lead, or you might want to filter based on different types of information that you've got, such as maybe the responsible person, this is a multi-field search tool for you to filter and drill down into your leads. So once the lead has been qualified, hopefully it's a genuine business opportunity that we can work on. What you can then do is you can convert those leads into different entities in the system. So for example, you could create a deal. So this is where the sales opportunity is. So it's got a qualified sales opportunity. You can also create a contact record and a company record. So you can decide what entity you would like to create. And if you are to create a deal, you can then segment that deal into a specific pipeline. So pipelines are a really good tool because it allows you to segment your sales opportunities into a specific category. So for example, here we're basing our pipelines on geographical location. But it could be, for example, if you're a realtor, it could be you have a pipeline for your sales opportunities and also a pipeline for your rental opportunities. So it's a way of segregating your sales opportunities. And that's then in the reporting section, which we'll look at, you can report on every single pipeline that you have in the system. Okay, so from the lead, we can create deals, contacts, and companies. So let's just go into the contact database to see all of our contact records. So inside here, you can see all of the contacts that you have in your CRM system, and each one has their own individual contact page that you can see all of the history associated to the contacts. Okay, so we just had a question come through there saying there is no audio. So it looks like, I'm not sure if you've got any issues there with your setup, because the audio is working okay on our GoToWebinar today. So on the contact page here, you can see all of the details about the contact. You can also associate a contact to a company, and it can be multiple companies that you associate them to. So we can see here, Mark Moon is associated to the company Techco, and I can click on Techco, and it will open me up to that company page. And the key difference in the company page is you can associate multiple contacts to a company. It's very similar to the lead setup in the sense of on the right-hand side, you've got the activity log. So you can see all of the history, such as here, we've got some SMS messages, we've got emails and notes, and you can filter through all of this history here. With the contact, you can associate them to deals. So if we go into the deals section, you can see all of these different sales opportunities that are associated with this particular contact. So that's a really useful tool, how you can connect all of your opportunities back into the contact itself. You can see who's responsible, all of the stages, and you can even click on those individual deals and it will open up that specific deal page. We can also see all the quotes and invoices associated to the contacts. So everything can be interlinked back to your contacts in the system. So you get that full 360-degree display of activity associated with your contacts. Now, we've looked inside a company page, but we'll just go into the company database. And again, you can see all of your company records. And through all of these different areas of the system, you can filter through all of this data very easily. Okay, so moving into the deal section. So this is where you can manage really your genuine sales opportunities. We've gone through the lead process, so we've qualified these opportunities. Now these are the sales opportunities where we can generally work on them to close the sale. Now, we've mentioned how you can segment deals into different pipelines. So each pipeline basically has its own separate database in the CRM. So I can go into our USA area. It's completely separate to our UK pipeline. Now, once again, you can see what stages here we're progressing our deals opportunities through. And those stages are, once again, just like in the lead section, they are completely customizable. So you can have as many or as few stages as you like in here. You can customize this to what your sales process is, and you can customize it to what your sales process is specifically for the UK office. So if we go into look at our automation rules, what you can see here, so this is our UK pipeline. We've got some stages and automation rules. But if we go into our USA office, the stages are completely different, and so is the automation rules. So for every single pipeline you have inside your CRM, you can customize the automation and the stages that you progress the opportunities through. So that's really useful, because it's very likely if you're selling different services, you may well have different steps and processes that you have to go through to close that sale. So having different pipelines allows you to implement those different stages in your sales process. Okay, so inside each individual deal, you can associate your contacts and companies. You can see here what stage the sale is at. We've got some information and notes. You can add products into your deals. So this opens up the product catalog. So inside here, you can store all of the product information that you want, maybe for the different services and products that you sell. and you can then select what products you want to associate to a deal, and that then gives the deal a value. And then from there, you can generate financial documents such as quotes and invoices, and we'll go through this in more detail during the case study. But for every quote and invoice, those have their own pages directly in the system as well. And we can even run automation rules as you progress a quote through different stages. So even the stages in a quote are completely customizable. So this is a really good example. So for example, if we're at the stage where we're waiting on the client on the quote, we've got some automation set up. So if we're still at this stage in 2 days, we're going to have a notification sent to the responsible person to get back in touch with the client to try and progress this quote past the waiting on client stage. So you can see how these automation rules really try to make your sales process more robust, more efficient, and help you to close those sales opportunities. And talking about those quotes and invoices, you also have a database for each type of financial record there. So rather than having to go into each individual deal, you can see all of the quotes across your CRM system in the quote database, and you can see what stage they're at and also what value you have for each of those stages. So that's a really useful tool. So if I progress a quote here through a different stage, that will automatically update the value for that stage in the system. And we also have the same type of database, but this time for invoices. So if we've been given the go-ahead, we can generate an invoice in the system. And again, you can customize here the stages that the invoice goes through. We've got a filtering tool, so we could maybe filter down into specific invoices. And you can click on any of those invoices, and it will open up that invoice page in the system. We've seen how we can generate activities, such as either could be calls, it could be creating tasks in the system. All of those activities are added into your activity planner. So you can see here all of the activities that you need to go through in the CRM system. And those activities can also integrate with your personal calendar inside Bitrix. So if you've got some calls, for example, we can see an intro call that's been added into our calendar here. So it will all integrate with your calendar. And you can then integrate your Bitrix calendar with external calendars as well. So you've got full integration here. Okay, so that's a look there at the different areas of the CRM system. Just want to see if we got any questions right now. Okay, yeah, can we set permissions in the CRM system so our managers see all of the entities? So you can set permissions in the CRM system. So if we just go back into our CRM, what we can do is we can go into the settings section. And we have an area fully for the permissions section here. So this allows you to create your own particular type of permissions. And this is done based on the role of the user. So for example, here we've got an administrator role. And for that administrator role, we can then configure the permissions for that particular role in the CRM. So for example, it could be in the lead section, we want to deny all access because they don't need to be managing leads. They just manage the deal opportunities. So we could give them full access in the deals. So you can fully customize this for every role and then apply that role to each user in the system. So that's how we can set permissions through the platform. Okay, if there are any other questions, please add them into the chat box and we'll go through those before the end of the webinar today. Now we're going to move on to actually do a case study. So we'll see how we can use some of the tools we mentioned around CRM web forms, and we'll see how we can then actually progress inquiry, qualify that, and move it through the deal process and generate an invoice and close that sales opportunity. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use one of the tools we've mentioned earlier on, which is CRM forms. So within Bitrix24, what you can do is you can create your very own forms to manage really new types of opportunities and inquiries. So within the system here, you can create your own forms using any of the fields you have added in the CRM system. So we can see here we're creating an inquiry form. So we're pulling in some of the lead fields from the CRM here. And once that information has been submitted, we're going to generate a brand new lead inside the system. So we've got that form here, and that form could be embedded onto a landing page, or it could just be embedded directly onto your website. So it's very simple to add those forms onto your pages. So I've added out my details initially here. I'm going to choose the type of inquiry this is, and I'm going to submit that form. Okay, so that's been submitted. Okay, and we've been notified, which is great. So I can see now we have received a brand new inquiry. So I can go into our CRM system and now start working on that brand new inquiry in the system. Okay, so you can see here 15 seconds ago, that brand new inquiry from the web form has automatically created a brand new lead in the CRM system. So let's take a look at what this looks like inside our lead page. Okay, so on the left-hand side, it's pulled through all of the information from that web form. And we can see actually it's already sent out a thank you email to that potential customer. So this is using some of those automation tools that we talked about earlier on. So we've not had to do anything there. So from that person submitting the form, we've already got some communication with them through our automation tools. So that's a really useful feature that we've already started to work on in the system here. So I can see the details. So I'm going to progress this now to arrange a meeting. Okay, so it's now added a task that I need to arrange that meeting with the lead. So I'm going to start recording my time on this as I start working on this. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to send out a meeting in the system. So let's just say I'm going to send out a follow-up email here. Okay, so let's send that out to schedule that meeting. And I can also add that as a new activity in the system. So for tomorrow at 3 p.m. So that's a new activity that has been added into my planner. So I've completed that task. I'm happy that's been arranged. And once we've had the meeting, I could then add some notes about that meeting that we've had. Okay, so I can add that note into here. I might want to attach some documents as well, and I'm going to add that note into the activity log. So again, you can see the full history here. We've got where the initial inquiry came from. We've got the other emails. We've got some notes. So everything about this, say if a manager wanted to come in to see how a lead is progressing, they can see the full history of that directly in the system. So again, I've got now another task to check back in. I've checked back in, they're happy. So what I'm going to do here is move it to looking good. I'm going to complete that lead. And now I can choose again what type of entity I want to create. So let's also create a deal. Okay, so it's created the contact record. And so I've got the full log of information about Sam in here. And I'm going to create a deal as well from that record. So let's open up a brand new deal opportunity in our UK pipeline. So it's pulled through Sam's details, and let's say they're interested in our license. So we've populated that in the system now. And we can then start progressing this through our different stages. So we've got a call, so we need to manage the call with them in the system. Let's go through and build the proposal. So now we actually need to start putting some financial information into this deal. So I'm going to select the different products that they're interested in. Okay, so let's add that into the deal here. So we've now got a value generated for that deal. And move this now to the quotation stage. So we now need to generate the financial document. So we've added the product information into here. So I can click on our quote and it's now going to open up our quotation page. And it's pulled through that product information already. So that's really useful. So we've got that history and I can then generate documents inside here. So what you can do is you can upload your own templated information, such as maybe a quote template, and we can then map across any details and information from the CRM onto those templates. So I'm going to select that template, and it's now going to generate me that quote based on the product information we have added. So it's brought through the details of the contact person, it's brought through the product information and the value, and I can then send this out to them directly in the system. I might want to send a public link or send it via an email. So you can decide exactly how that is sent to the customer. And you could have templated emails as well. You don't need to manually type these out every time. You might want to use templates as well, so that's absolutely fine. And I'm going to send this out to Sam. Okay, so that's been sent. I'm going to say we're waiting on the client now. They've been sent that in the system. You can see now it's connected onto the deal. So the quote is with the clients. We've added that information into here. And then maybe they come back to us and that's been approved, which is great. And then from there, we could then automatically go back into the quote. It's been updated and we could then create an invoice from this. So we could create a brand new action. We can move it into an invoice. And that is then automatically connected back with the deal. So let's complete that now in the system. And if we go back into the deal, we're going to approve and close the deal as one. And that is linked everything back with that deal. So the quotation, the license invoice, is everything pulled back into that deal. And if we now go back into that contact page, you can see as well those deal opportunities, the quotes, and the invoices are all linked back to the contact in the system. So everything gets linked back. So it's impossible not to see the full activity log with your clients. Everything is connected back in the system. Okay, so moving on from there, we've completed those sales opportunities. Now it's a case of actually looking at the reporting side of Bitrix24 and how we can analyze the data that we have the information in the system. So first of all, if we just go back into the deals pipeline section, so inside here, this list view that we have, we've mentioned how you can customize the actual layout of this information, how you can customize the actual deal information. So I can select what information is displayed, and you can filter on this information as well. So you can actually configure how this information is displayed, and you can export that data out of Bitrix24. So that's really the first area we can report on. The second area is just visually looking in the Kanban view on our deal pipelines. So you can see the stages and what value you have at each stage in the process. And when you update the deals, that then automatically updates the value at those stages. So you can forecast how well your sales opportunities are progressing through your pipelines. We also have the analytics module, and this will pull through all of the data from your CRM system. And it's broken down into separate entity areas, such as the leads, for example. So inside here, I can see how well our team has converted leads into different entities inside the system. So we want to be able to see them converting lots of leads, so we can see the analysis inside here. You can see your sales plans, so you can see maybe set targets for your sales team, so you can see how well they're tracking to their targets in the system. And you can even build your own dashboards. So I've mentioned about how you can use pipelines in the system. What you can also do is you can create pipeline dashboards for every pipeline. So inside here, we're looking in our UK office. We've got some module reports in here. You can configure how this information is displayed and calculated in the system. And you can also add your very own reports into here as well. And the final area for reporting is in the reporting wizard. So within here, what you can do is you can set up your very own reports from scratch. So in here, you can select what area of the system you want to report on, such as deals. You can then give the report a description and a title and a name. Okay, so you can give that detail into here. You can choose your reporting period. And then you can select what fields you would like to display on the report. And this can include any custom fields that you add into the system. So that's really useful. All of the custom fields get populated and integrated into the reporting tool. You can then create and select a filter. So for example, you might want to filter on, let's say, a specific pipeline in the system. And you can also add a chart. So if you wanted to maybe add a visual guide to the report, you can add a type of chart into here as well. And it could be this report is just for yourself, so you can just create the report. But what you can also do is you can share that report. So you might want to share it with specific groups of people, so you can set who is able to access that report inside the system. So that's the other area for reporting in the platform. Okay, so we just had a question, is it possible to filter all the same kind of messages, such as filter on calls or emails? So if we just go back into one of our contact, I believe you're talking there, say in one of the contact areas, for example. So if we go into a contact, what you can do in the activity section here is, yes, you can filter on all of that different activity and communication in the platform. So what you're able to see here in the filtering tool, you may want to filter on all communications. So it will strip out any of the detail in here. But it could be you want to filter down into a specific type of communication. So maybe it's just emails you want to filter on, for example. So you can just filter on emails and it will show you all of the emails in there, for example. So yes, you can filter on different types of communication types inside the CRM. Okay, no problem at all. Okay, so I think that's all of the questions for the webinar today. If you do have any other questions in the meantime before next week's webinar, then please do email sales@interface.com. Okay, yeah, we've just had another email come through. So can you automate reporting? No, you can't automate reporting. So you could set a reminder, for example, using some of the automation tools it could create a task. So it reminds you to generate the report, say every month, but you aren't able to automatically have that report calculated for a specific time frame. You would have to do that yourself. But as long as the report's set up already, then it should be a very simple process of changing the reporting time period. Okay, so just moving on now to look at some of the differences between that cloud and self-hosted solution. So in terms of the CRM system, both include leads, deals, invoicing, reporting tools. They both include custom fields. Now, with the cloud system, the new cloud editions that Bitrix have released, you are limited on the number of custom fields that you can add onto each entity, so please be aware of that. On the professional cloud and the self-hosted systems, you can have unlimited custom fields. So just bear that in mind if you do have a lot of information you need to store. Both of the systems include automation tools. Now, with the self-hosted, it is possible to actually fully customize this through integrations with other systems. For example, you may want to integrate with a finance system, or maybe you want to create advanced business processes, so we can use the source code to manage any custom integrations. And we have several clients who, for example, change the terminology such as leads and deals. They like to have that changed to their specific style and process. With the self-hosted edition, we can customize that. So you might want to change deals into opportunities, for example. So that's some of the additional functionality you can have with a self-hosted edition of the system. Okay, here the session is recorded, so you'll be able to access this on our YouTube channel within the next 24 hours, and we will also be emailing this out to you as well. So yes, it is recorded. Here are a selection of the up and coming webinars that we have for you. We are here every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I want to thank you for joining today. I hope you found the Next Level CRM webinar useful. As I say, if you have any other questions, please do email sales@interface.com, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you've got or set up a meeting with you to discuss your requirements. But thank you for your time today, and bye for now.